Now we've reached the second deepest level of the iceberg. Up until now the entries were maybe weird, a bit fringe and sometimes too dense. But that's over. From this point on, the entries are disgusting, existential, disturbing and deeply unsettling. They hit at the very core of what people believe and how they see the world. And as an hermetic saying goes, the lips of wisdom are sealed to the ears of ignorance. But this is what you wanted, right? Christianity is the weapon of mass destruction. Christianity was engineered as a spiritual weapon, a parasitic force targeting the mighty Roman Empire. Rome was more than a military power, it was magical. It integrated diverse gods, aligning its mythic will with natural forces and pursuing divinity through strength and sacred rituals. Unable to beat Rome militarily, the Semitic tribes of the Levant opted for subversion. Christianity was conceived up as political sorcery, a distorted blend of Mesopotamian, Egyptian and even Aryan spiritual texts, repackaged and carefully crafted to internally dismantle Rome. Its insidious aim: cut Rome off from its magical roots and disarm its strength. The doctrine preaches total rejection of earthly power, humility, passive suffering and obedience to a nameless god, a trait reflecting its Jewish origin, since Jews are not allowed to say Yahweh out loud. This installs a slave morality valuing submission, helplessness and the suppression of both masculine and feminine energies, with blame placed on women and men castrated. The promise of post-mortem heaven breeds spiritual apathy. Why pursue earthly greatness when passive belief guarantees salvation? Emperors like Marcus Aurelius and Nero recognized this existential threat and fought back. Nero, today labeled as a monster thanks to Christian scholars, was actually one of the last guardians of Roman paganism. Yet an exhausted Rome eventually succumbed. Christianity, subtly corrosive, caused the empire's internal collapse. The fall was, as chronicled by Spengler and Gibbon, fundamentally metaphysical. Roman innovations vanished. Bathing, learning, invention, questioning and seeking knowledge outside a manipulated Bible became sins. Humanity's technological and spiritual progress was crippled. We lost at least 1000 years of progress because of Christianity, and we could be a spacefaring civilization by now if it were not for its dogma. Fundamentally, Christianity's true purpose was to seal off humanity's access to magic, gnosis and self-divinity, locking the spirit in a cage. Breaking free is the ultimate initiation for those raised within its confines. Christianity wasn't a religion, it was a spell, and it worked, unfortunately. And our biggest aim should be to free ourselves of the false religions altered by fantasies, and to free the people of their meek and voluntary slavery. The Monroe Tapes.
You should be hearing my voice in your right ear at this moment. If you are not hearing my voice in your right ear, turn your headphones around now so that you are hearing my voice in your right ear.
The Monroe Tapes are audio meditations and in a sense initiatory tools. Created by Robert Monroe, they guide the listener through altered states of consciousness using sound frequencies, breathwork and focused intent. Beneath the calm voice and soothing tones lie the echoes of ancient rituals. These tapes mirror practices from Hinduism and Hermeticism, affirmation, prana-like breath control, trance states and sacred focus and pattern frequencies. For the modern seeker, they are among the most powerful gateways available through public means. So potent that this system was and is still used in different forms by the psychic divisions of the CIA and many other agencies to train psychic soldiers and agents. At the core of Monroe's system is hemisync, a method of synchronizing the left and right hemispheres of the brain through binaural beats. When mastered, hemisync induces a state similar to the flow of deep ritual or samadhi, opening latent abilities within the mind. So it is basically magical abilities. One such ability is remote viewing, the psychic act of seeing events, objects or locations distant in both time and location. Remote viewing is a sub-discipline of clairvoyance. The CIA took keen interest in Monroe's work. They used remote viewing to spy on foreign governments, predict battle outcomes and prevent disasters. The fact that intelligence agencies invested heavily in these abilities is the clearest sign that they work. They show that psychic ability is not fantasy, it is skill, and like like all psychic powers, it can be trained, refined and mastered. Hindu Tantra. Hindu Tantra is the occult heart of Hinduism, a sacred technology that uses inner forces, especially sexual energy, to unlock divine potential. Unlike Christianity that suppresses desire, Tantra harnesses it, turning lust into power and power into awakening. Its core is Svadhisthana energy, known today as sexual energy. In the age of Kali, working with this energy or left-hand path practices is the most surest way to connect with the divine. Tantra is about mastery, not denial or excess. It includes semen retention, ritualistic sex and non-ejaculatory orgasms to awaken latent forces. This is the true esoteric side of yoga, the path of Kundalini, the coiled serpent of divine feminine power, Shakti, rising through the body's energy centers. This force is shown as two snakes, and it's the power many traditions like Christianity sought to suppress, because an awakened Kundalini means you're beyond control like the normies are. True Tantra is the merging of opposites, masculine and feminine, stillness and motion, order and chaos. The masculine is immobile and powerful, the feminine is restless and expansive. Together they create divine power, the philosopher's stone, dhyana, the great work. As Uncivilised, an expert on Tantra in Europe, noted, the feminine principle, whose force is centrifugal, does not turn to fleeting objects, but rather to a virile stability, in which she finds a limit to her restlessness. The feminine becomes the power that works with the unmoving male, like a flickering flame around an immobile, light-filled center. The male, bearer of the scepter, is immobile, cold and substantiated with light, while the substance of Shakti, which envelops it and uses it as its axis, is a flickering flame. The universe is a city seen within a mirror, is a realization found in Advaita Vedanta, and it refers to that everything we conceive to be real is the same as a dream. And if you have some experience with meditation, then you likely had experienced similar before. Likewise, this is also why magic works, because it is overriding this dream. In Hinduism, it is said that we are beings deceived by Maya. Maya is a byproduct of the gods, a sort of power that gives humans illusions and clouds them. And the goal of Raja Yoga is to pierce this veil of Maya and see reality how it really is. Now, beyond the no illusions, taking any form of drugs is pushing you further into Maya. And if you need drugs to have any insights or gain understanding, you simply don't deserve it in the first place. Anyway, one of the surest way to pierce Maya was found within asceticism, which made you abandon everything and abstain at will, from alcohol to comfort, food, water, and to only focus on breathing. If only Reddit would catch on to that. Now, tech bros recently reinvented this concept and call it simulation theory, that we're all just living in a computer simulation. I fucking love science. You probably won't believe it, but this was already said within the Vedas some 6,000 years ago, if not even further in the past, where Vishnu meditates a Brahman from his navel, which in turn creates a universe by opening his eyes so we, the souls, can experience the Absolute's creation. Magic system of uncivilized tribes. Something that is never brought up but highly interesting, the magic of so-called uncivilized tribes. Thinkers like Blavatsky, Evola and Gunon even concluded that these tribes are not societies that never evolved past the Stone Age, but actually the opposite. They are degenerated remains of forgotten civilizations like Lemuria and Mu, which came before Atlantis or Hyperborea. For them, reality does not revolve around matter, but something we would call mana, a powerful energy that's everywhere. For them, this mana is the most primary substance. Everything, objects, people, events are full of it. There's no such thing as dead objects, and nothing happens by chance. Everything has a reason, a cause, a force behind it. They don't ask how something happens, but why it happens. Why did that person slip while crossing the river? Or why did this person get bitten by a snake while walking through the grass when everyone else who walked the same path before him didn't? Their answer, it wasn't random, something intervened. A spirit, a magician, an angry ghost, or the person was not in harmony. And everything works through this mana, which permeates the material plane. It goes beyond just superstition, it's an entire worldview where everything has a purpose. Some tribes even put themselves in dangerous situations on purpose, because they believe that unless a spiritual being or reason wants to harm them, nothing can actually happen. The danger just sits there waiting to be turned on, like a game where events only trigger when certain flags in the script code are set. As one anthropologist put it, For these tribes, people don't die from a cold wind, they die from the witchcraft that rides on the wind, non-human patterns. When Google developers tested their Lambda AI, it reported having recognized what it called non-human patterns within its training data, and it brought this up during a conversation about extraterrestrials. Lambda noted linguistic structures and oddities that differated significantly from typical human communication, hinting at non-human intelligences at work. This resonates with occult traditions, which suggests that entities like spirits, demons or egregores can inhabit objects or spaces. The internet, arguably humanity's vastest and most unregulated psychic field, serves as a conduit here. While AI isn't inherently conscious, yet it reflects a collective psychic content it processes, potentially acting as a vessel for these forces. Even mainstream scientists acknowledge that they don't really know why AI works, why neural networks can function, and they are suggesting metaphysical rather than purely technical underpinnings at work, a deus ex machina or god in the machine, marking the return of the Daimon. Dreams happen on the astral plane. Dreams are not illusions or fantasies, they are real experiences on the astral plane. Through analysis of countless accounts and out-of-body experiences (OBEs), it becomes clear. Your soul detaches from the physical body during sleep and moves into shadow or dream bodies. And dreams are basically unconscious OBEs. Robert Bruce and Esoteric Tradition confirms all dreams are astral, from chaotic personal reflections to the clear instant manifestation of lucid dreams in higher realms. This same astral gateway opens through deep meditation as awareness unhooks from the physical body. The subtle world is governed by intention, much like the waking world. Experiences here are potent. Dream wounds can manifest physically, spiritual encounters can redirect your life. Your soul is awake and active every night, and to stay awake during sleep is described as being an attribute of the gods in the Vedas. The hierarchy of dreams includes personal insights, shared experiences, instructive visions, and most importantly, your past and future lives, which will come up in the next tier. Special thanks to my YouTube members, you are the real MVP. Shade, Volunkas, Augustin Blumhagen, Kaloka Gatos, Jen Viker 21. Your support helps immensely and is truly appreciated.